Hey everybody, welcome back to Drug Talk. As always, I'm your host, Garrett Campbell. In today's video, I want to go over some good news regarding my therapy with Clonazepam. So as you can probably tell by the title, I haven't used Clonazepam in about 60 days, which is a really good sign for my anxiety. Now, there's been three factors that kind of played into this. One being a medication change, one being a lifestyle change, and one thing that's really out of my control, but has been really beneficial. So the first thing that kind of played into me not needing to use Clonazepam in the last 60 days was a medication change going from Zeldox to Loxapine. Now, I've talked about Loxapine in many different videos. I think my last video I talked about the fact that I found Loxapine was very beneficial with anxiety in terms of helping with rapid thoughts. So for the last 2 years or so, I was using Zeldox, 40 milligrams twice daily. So I would take it in the morning and before bed. But now I'm switching from Zeldox, or have switched from Zeldox, to Loxapine, 10 milligrams at bedtime. Now, this is one of the medications, Loxapine, that I would use if I couldn't sleep for a couple nights in a row. If I didn't get a full 8-hour sleep, I would use Loxapine to make sure I got that sleep. But I didn't want to use it too often because I was already using Zeldox and didn't want to use two antipsychotics too often. So after discussing with my psychiatrist and just overall discussing the benefit that I've gotten from Loxapine over the years, we thought that it was maybe time to just move the Zeldox to the side for now. We may go back to it in the future, but for now, move that aside and just use Loxapine, 10 milligrams at bedtime each night. So now, ever since using Loxapine each night, I'm having less rapid thoughts, which kind of play into anxiety sometimes. If you're having rapid thoughts about the future, maybe, that may play into the anxiety. So that's definitely been a big factor in kind of putting me in a position where I didn't have to use Clonazepam for the last 60 days. It makes me feel a little bit better too and less anxious knowing that I'm taking Loxapine once daily, because this is the medication that if I go in the hospital with mania, this is typically one of the medications they may give me at a higher dose, but they may give me to come down out of mania and back into a steady state. But now that I'm using this on a nightly basis, I think the chances of me having a manic episode will be greatly decreased, which again, all this helps with the anxiety. The second thing that I've been doing is a lifestyle change to help me not need to use Clonazepam, and that's a breathing exercise from Wim Hof. You may know him as the Iceman, but he has these three techniques that he does, one being ice showers or ice baths. He does breathing exercises, and he also does meditation. So I've been trying the breathing exercises whenever I feel anxiety come up, whenever I feel almost, I wouldn't say that a panic attack is coming, but just feeling that anxiety kind of on the rise. I would try a breathing exercise. They typically take about 10 or 20 minutes. And I found that they would help as much as, if not more, than a 0.5 milligram Clonazepam would. So it takes a little bit more time to kick in because you have to make it through the full exercise. But at the end, there's definitely relief from anxiety. So I would try to do that about 2 or 3 times a day. So once in the morning and then once whenever I feel anxiety kind of coming up. I'll put a link in the description of this video to a beginner breathing exercise by Wim Hof that I started off with. It only takes about 10 minutes to complete. And if you're having anxiety, you just want to try something else besides medication, throw this in there. It may be helpful for you. And the third thing that's really helped with anxiety is just that time change, the daylight savings time, where we get that extra hour and the light, the daytime lasts longer, so we don't have that wintertime darkness anymore. On the other side of things, in October, I believe, when the clocks go back and it gets darker earlier, that's instantly when I feel kind of the depression, just that down mood kind of come into play. So this time of year, when we're switching the clocks in the opposite direction and there's more light, more daylight, more of a chance to kind of get outside, winter's coming to the end, temperatures are getting warmer, I noticed that the depression or the depressive state that I kind of go through throughout the winter really lifts instantaneously. And when the depression lifts, the anxiety also lifts. So between these three things, changing medication, doing those breathing exercises, and just it being this time of year, the springtime, where generally people do feel better, especially, people with seasonal affective disorder, obviously people like myself with bipolar disorder. That's a big change. It's hard to say which one is playing the biggest role. I think they're definitely all working together to kind of give me the best results. But I'm very happy to have gotten to this point. I was previously using Clonazepam about 2 to 3 times a week. And that would be anytime really throughout the day. The anxiety could come up out of nowhere. and then I would use the clonazepam to kind of subside that. Sometimes I would use it getting into bedtime if I couldn't sleep due to anxiety. But yeah, generally it was about 3 times a week. So ever since the medication changed, the lifestyle change, and honestly the clock's changing, I haven't had to use it at all for about 60 days now. So I'm going to keep these 3 things going, obviously, for as long as I can. Obviously, the time change that lasts until October, but the medication change I'll keep going. I'll keep doing the breathing exercises. I actually really enjoy them. They make you feel very calm. But yeah, I'll give you guys updates if anything changes. But as always, thanks for watching the video. If you found the information valuable and you'd like to help grow the channel, remember you can like the video, share the videos, or most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, there's also some links in the description you can check out as well. For today, take care.